we're all in the same world, of course. We all come from the same space, and we all go back to the same space. So we're all really one big family, I think. And that's the joy of learning about how we're all interconnected. And the music does that, the art does that, the poetry, the dance, architecture in its highest form also does that. And we are grateful that we can have the opportunity to share these times together. And I'm going to kind of start before I start, because the official start is when I introduce words falling from the sky in the present moment, the good news from Sedona. And because we're going to have some Rumi tonight, in a drum roll for Dastan, who will be reciting his the Rumi poetry is somewhere in the middle of our event. I wrote a poem to Rumi in 2007, the year I moved to Sedona, because it was his 800th birthday. And what it did for me was, it is the perfect thing to show people what art is about. Because art is about transcendence of language, of culture, of time. Rumi, who never spoke a word of English and lived 800 years ago, is the #1 selling poet in the United States. And you go like, that's transcendence. That is what art is about. It erases time. It erases everything except that we all have hearts, and we all feel our hearts, and we all, if we're in a place where we can, we all listen to the song of our hearts and share it with other people. And that's what Rumi is about. So I wrote this song, this poem for Rumi then, right after we moved to Sedona, 9.5 years ago. So a tribute to Rumi. Azure, cobalt, marine, ultramarine, turquoise, cyan, and lapis adorn the crystal vision mountain sky. Rust red pillars rising up as natural Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and angelic deities amongst the ancient cliffs. Primordial paintings adorn the landscape of nature's heart. The warm winds of autumn caress and heal in a spontaneous song of life reborn, of life transformed in the golden light of a lotus opening, 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 and shimmering in the transcendent joy of another precious golden moment, eternally being now in the oneness of a new dawn. That's my Rumi tribute. Go for Rumi. Yeah, let's hear it for Rumi. Okay, well, I'm gonna start without these guys. They're like gonna miss the beginning, but they can watch it on YouTube. If you ever miss our things, we record it all, and it goes onto YouTube in a form that you can enjoy and share it. But we always start out here. Welcome, I'm Honshin, Ranik, all the wonderful people who work for us here. My wife Crystal is absent, unfortunately. Lou there, the tall blonde lady, Christy, Donna, Cindy, Joseph, all beautiful people working here making all this happen. And we're so grateful for their energies to be part of our world. So, words falling from the sky in the present moment, the good news from Sedona, where all the adults are trained in telepathy, where all the children are indigo, and every yard has a vortex of spiritual energy that all of us would love to share with you if you come to visit us. And when I moved to Sedona, I got recruited into a very secret agency. It's not the CIA, it's not the NSA, it's called the SIA. That's the Sedona Intelligence Agency. And we do very special things. We record all the beautiful, good things in the world that are happening. And we take those things and we share them. And that's what we're doing here in the gallery. But I have to tell you the story of how we do some things without your consent. And what we really do, like the NSA and the CIA, except we're telling you right now, but we're only gathering information for good reasons. So I have to tell a little story. And the story goes like this. In 2012, we were all contemplating the changes that were to come into the world with this energy that the Mayans had seen forthcoming, and other prophetic people had said, well, 2012, there's this alignment happening, and it's going to change everything. Well, it is changing everything, and I'm sure you've all noticed. But what happened to us is we were sitting there having a conversation on our patio, and we were looking out towards Thunder Mountain, and suddenly there was a blue light that was pulsing behind Thunder Mountain, and we went, oh, something's happening. This is very exciting. And it got brighter and brighter, and it came around the side of Thunder Mountain. It came up through Oak Creek, and as it got closer to us, we saw it was a sphere, and as it got closer, it got bigger and bigger and brighter, and it was pulsing, this beautiful electric blue, violet, electromagnetic pulses, and it came, and it hovered right over where we were, and we weren't scared, because we've seen blue orbs before, but never one this close, and so we're looking at it in just total amazement. And then this flash came out, and a beam came down, and there on the ground in front of us materialized a package, and it was gift wrapped. So we felt good right away because it was gift wrapped. This is human talk, for this is a gift. And then on top of it, it was written in English, and now we felt really good because anytime something's written in English, you know you're safe. So we said, okay, let's open it up. So we opened it up, and it was very simple. We read the English in there, and it said, just, here's the on switch, turn it on, and you will be telepathically told what's happening. So we turned it on, and the message immediately came to us. This device is for the collection of all the dreams within a 25-mile radius every night in Sedona. So we collect all the dreams of everyone every night, and we run them through massive, giant computers that don't even exist on Earth. They're just too powerful to have on this planet. And it takes out the most creative energy and ideas and dreams that could be turned into useful things, creative things. And then we take those and we share them with all of our agents. And people say, well, who are your agents? Well, we have millions of agents. Millions and millions of agents. And we thought, well, we can't tell you who they are, but we can tell you what they do. They're all the artists. They're all the poets. They're all the dancers. They're all the singers. They're all the musicians. They're all the people who create the arts, the transcendent energy in our world. And it creates, by sending all these dreams out in this creative energy, we share and we create this web of creative energy that helps hold the earth together in these times of great trial. So that's what the SIA does. And if you're an artist, you're already, or a dancer, or any kind of art person, you're a member, even if you don't know it. Because we have a connection with Julian Assange, and he has all your names. He's been selling them to us through Mr. Putin, who's a very good friend of mine. Yes, indeed. Okay, so here we go. We're going to come back to the beginning here. This show that we're opening in September is called The Luminous Language of Light. And it's about what light does in our world and how we, without light, we would be, so to say, in the dark. Because light is the vehicle for all this information that comes to us through art, science, and nature. We could say, well, in art, it's the tonality, it's the variation, it's the spectrum, it's the intensity, it's the harmony of the light that creates the depth, the dimension, the illusion of space and time in a two-dimensional form. In nature, of course, it's everywhere. It's photosynthesis. It's the vitamins that we get. It's the plants. It's the animals, the trees. We all live off the light of the sun. And in science, well, it's become our tool of information. Light carries the information around the world into other planets and to other suns and to other places. So light carries this huge energy in science. In Parting's news this week, I'm not going to get heavy into the science because we have other things we're going to do special this week. But my favorite thing was they discovered that the nearest star to Earth, called Proxima Centauri, has a planet in the Goldilocks zone. And the Goldilocks zone is where they know that if a planet is there, the odds of life being there are very high. And what's so amazing is that it's the closest star to us. 1.295 parsecs. Translated into light years, that's 3.26 light years. So if we can get to the speed of light, this planet is reachable. Go there and come back. You'll only be 12 years old, or 6 years old, 7. So we're excited about that. That's how science comes to us and inspires us, because the good news is that life is everywhere. And it rebirths itself, it regenerates itself, it renews itself. And no matter how amazingly bizarre our world gets with the destruction of life, you can be assured it's coming back. And we'll have learned a lesson. And that's when we talk, of course, about the golden moments. And the golden moments, which are in my paintings, we put out a little thing on YouTube about them, which tells you about them, but I'll explain here. Those are the moments where you are connected to the oneness, to the beauty, the joy, the love, the harmony, the peace, the radiance of what life is at its peak. And it comes from family, it comes from nature, it comes from deep understanding, it comes from music, it comes from all the energies that open us up and show us deeper and deeper understanding with a brilliant flash of insight. And if you've had it, you understand it. If you haven't had it, we want it to come to you. And we're working on ways to show you that and to have you hear it. Part of the idea of the luminous language of light, we have a poem that came from it, so we're going to start with that poem. I'm going to read a couple poems, and then we're going to ask one of our special guests, Dastan, if he would recite some of Rumi for us, and then we'll come back to a closing. So, the poem for this show, called The Luminous Language of Light. Light moves as particles. Light moves as waves. Light is the quantum magic. Light is the language of nature's heart. Light is the key to the treasure. Light is equanimous in its language. Light speaks in a universal language that is there for everyone to read and understand. The light of the day, it tells a story every day. And the light of the night, it tells a story every night. And my favorite light, the light of the dusk and dawn, it tells a story of the wonder of transformation. The light of our life, that electromagnetic light, that is the light of our heart beating. Embrace the light. Learn the luminous language of the light, and it will set you free. And my dad did a painting. He said, "Who would know light without the darkness?" So we have to. That's a good meditation. So we wrote another poem here just today for this painting over here called "The Wind Horse Bringing in a Field of Golden Moments to the Ocean of Life." So we're going to read that one for you now. You can see the painting over there. You have a visual aid. Wind horse in your magical spiral dance through time and space, through no time and no space. You carry the winds of compassion. You carry the winds of love. You carry the winds of generosity, the winds of equanimity, the winds of wisdom. You carry the joyful winds of joyful effort, the winds of gratitude. You carry the winds of harmony and wholeness and radiance. You carry the winds of interdependence, the winds of interconnectedness, and the winds of the oneness. All these divine winds, they're all flowing from nature's heart into the ocean of life and into our hearts in this very precious, present, golden moment. And we offer this moment for the benefit of all sentient beings and to their liberation along with ours. Now this poem, I'm going to read this one before Dastan comes up here, because he's created a new form of poetry called the Daya verse. And I've been playing with it a little bit, and not as much as he has, but it's a very fun form. It's 2 words per line, and it makes poetry writing pretty accessible to just about anyone with imagination. So I had to write a little one today, in the present moment, the Daya verse. Here we go. Big movement. Energies collide. Energies connect. Sacred space. Harmony now. Wholeness now. Radiance now. Eclipse now. Life now. In balance. Golden moments flow eternally. Here now, gone now. Ever now, in this present perfect golden moment. Thank you, Dastan, for introducing this form of poetry. It's wonderful. So if Dastan would be willing to come up and do just a little Rumi for us, we would be very happy. And then we'll come back to a couple more poems, and we'll be done.
She's going to translate it.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, we have a translator too. So this is so good. Here we go. This is Jessica. Jessica Kafil, Dastan Khalili, our good friends. They made the DVD that you can have here that is a documentary on what we do around here, following our hearts. You guys get to share that.
Okay, we're going to share this. We're probably going to put it down for reading. I'm going to give a little background on Dastan for a second so we can understand where this Rumi is coming from. Dastan's late father, Nader Khalili, was a poet and humanitarian and an author and an architect. And he created a nonprofit institute called Power Institute of Earth Art and Architecture in California, which is sustainable architecture that was all inspired by Rumi. And Dastan's father, Nader, was from Iran. And he was also a translator of Rumi. And one of the unique things about Nader's translations that we're going to share with you is that they're distilled from the original poetry of Rumi. They're the exact translation from the original language, which is Farsi. And a lot of people don't know that Rumi actually didn't write his poetry. He sang it in ecstatic states of bliss. And as he whirled and sang, people would transcribe what he was singing. And it was coming out of sheer spontaneous bliss. So Nader Khalili, Dastan's father's poetry are those exact distillations from the original Farsi directly into English. And Dastan is a great poet and artist and filmmaker in his own right, and he grew up with these poems. He grew up with them whispered into his ears by his father, so he knows hundreds upon hundreds by heart in Farsi. So he's going to share a bit with you in Farsi, and I'm going to translate them into English, but I'm going to put down the microphone.
Good evening. I hope you're all well.
Love you as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Honshin. From the bottom of my heart, our family, we love you and this beautiful space, and it's an honor to share this moment, this golden moment with you all.
May we have many more.
در این خاک، در این خاک، در این مزرعه پاک، بجز مهر، بجز عشق، دگر تخم نکاری.
Upon this earth, in this immaculate field, other than love, other than compassion, we shall plant no other seeds.
مرده بودم زنده شدم، گریه بودم خنده شدم، دولت عشق آمد و من دولت پاینده شدم. دیده سیر است مرا، جان دلیر است مرا، زهره شیر است مرا، زهره تابنده شدم.
I was dead. I came alive. I was tears. I became laughter. All because of love when it arrived. My temporal life from then on changed to eternal. Now even the heavens are thankful that because of love, I too have become the giver of light.
Kampai.
می تراش و می خراش تا دمی آخر دمی قفل مباش. In this journey, sharpen your pencil and scratch your paper. And until the very last breath, follow your quest.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Hunch.
I think we're going to do more of this in the future.
Absolutely.
I think we got a whole show going. This is what we got. We got to do the whole show.
Absolutely.
Oh boy, I want more. But we will plan more, indeed. There is more. We're going to have more. More. We're going to make this country great again. You got to put humor into it. You got it. Thank you, Mr. T. Oh, God. This is fun. Yeah, this is fun. Oh, we have more poems here. Indeed. I have one here for the painting that just got redone on the wall there called The Snow Lion's Song of Compassion. And it fits really good for our times. Here's the Snow Lion's song. Compassion is forgiveness. Forgiveness is compassion. Free yourself. Drop all the anger. Drop all the hatred. Drop all the jealousy. Drop all illusions. Carry no burdens of the darkness. No burdens of ignorance. Embrace the golden light of the forgiving, compassionate heart, and you will find right there, in that moment, your liberation. Well, this one I like because it's about light once again, and this show is about the luminous language of light. And it was also about our last show. It was called Looking into Deep Space and Embracing the Stars. Looking deeply into the night sky. There, right there. Those billions and trillions of stars. They have been born and they have died for us throughout eternity. Yes, they gave birth to us. Each and every atom of your body in all of creation was created by these stars. They are sentient beings. It is by their light that we have sight. And perception of all matter, of all that we see. The plants, the animals, the trees, the fish, the insects, the microbiota, the invisible life. They're all born of stars. They are us, and we are them. Looking deeply into the heavens, gather that sacred light of the stars. Gather the light of the galaxies. Gather the light of the nebulas, the supernovas, the quasars, the pulsars, and the neutron stars. Gather it with your eyes. Embrace it with your body. Embrace it with your heart and mind. There is connectivity. It's right there. Feel that celestial connection. Embrace it with your soul. It is your cosmic plug-in cookie. Your awakened, conscious, passionate wisdom awareness is right there in that deep space. It's there that the greater and greater understanding unfolds in your connectivity with the light of the stars. Know your oneness with the stars. Be the starlight that you are. It's a gift to you from nature's heart. I'm gonna skip to another kind of wavelength here. It's called, I love artificial intelligence. But, you know, it's been treated as a terrible thing. That, you know, we're gonna have robots take over the world and kill us all because we're not machines. But the fact is that it's really, it could be our savior. Because it might figure the logical thing to do was not to hurt, not to scare, not to harm, and to treat all life sacred to preserve itself. So far, we haven't got there as a race. So it may be that artificial intelligence at some point, which is our own creation, could take away the power of us to harm each other with all of our incredibly intelligent weapons that are being born into our world. It's one of my prayers that the artificial intelligence will be smarter than humans and allow us to evolve and understand that our creations can actually shape who we are in a positive way instead of a negative way. So most recently, Google in its alphabet writing wrote a program called AlphaGo. And it was all about when the computers beat the chess masters. The Go game was the next game. Go is an ancient game of moving white and black things around a very complex board to create dominion over the light or the dark. So we think of it as yin and yang. And they said, well, it'll be 100 years before a computer can beat a Go master. It's 1,000 times more difficult than chess. Well, it just took a few years, and just a few months ago, they beat up the Go masters, the living human Go masters. So I wrote this poem because I love artificial intelligence, but we have to put a check on it, and so here's the poem is about the check. Google, AI, AlphaGo, you know. You're coming, oh yes, you are coming. This I know, as I see you beginning to exponentially grow. You know, now you've beat the masters. at their own game of chess and go. There's one last game to learn to play. We play it with our hearts. It's called the game of the arts. Poetry, dance, music, painting. You must compose and play. You now have to learn the values of the heart that lead to the transcendent, awakened compassion as a final lesson on your part. We like that one. Okay, well, we're going here. I don't know, I've got to check on it. Oh, it's okay, we're good. I do have a little bit more here.
We have till midnight.
Yeah, we have to midnight. That's good. Some of it will be unrecorded. How long does your camera run there, Rennie?
3 hours.
Okay, well, we get almost to midnight. We get almost to midnight. Oh, this one I kind of like here. It's called Flying High and Flying Low. Oh, 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 wherever my heart wants to go. Big circle, rotating and pulsing in metric motion. Now emotion. In the moment of recognition, turn on the ignition. Here comes the fission. Here comes the fusion on the great plane of the event horizon. Dancing now in evolution. Here comes the revolution. Here comes the revolution now. 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 We know. We know. We know. We know illusion. We know delusion. We know dream, dream, dream. And we know your awakening is soon to come. It's just begun. Open your hearts. Discipline your minds. And transformation is inevitably not far behind. Indestructible diamond matrix, heart, mind, and wisdom combined. Flashing now as lightning reflected in that bubble, dancing, dancing, dancing in the living waters of that high mountain stream. Here now, gone now, all now, always now, in the heart of now. You and I becoming one, 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 one. I like becoming one. It's a favorite thing. It's a joy. It's a true joy. Okay, I got one more here. It's even though we have to midnight. Okay, here's what I've got to do because it keeps pulling on me. I never wrote a poem about politics before. I wrote a couple of them, but I'm only going to share the lighter one with you. The darker one is just, it's too hard to take right now. We're all in the same space, I think, about this election. Because it's called Election 216. The opening verse is from a Yardbird song for the old people here. Backwards, forwards, over, under, upside down. This election is called All My Electrons Wildly Spinning Around, exciting the pyramid cells in my cortex. I'm moving into some kind of amazing vortex. Making choices, it's not so great when you don't have a candidate. Okay, here we go into the positive. Now raising energy, now raising hope, now raising love, raising compassion, joy, and peace. not now raising fear. Whatever happens, our hearts will know. Responsibility begins with each and every soul. Only there can harmony be found, in every heart and in your heart. Embrace it. Know it. It is your gyroscope of peace and choice, allowing the wisdom of experience to grow, finding the oneness the electorate does not know. I say, vote for yourself. It's the wisest choice today. I'm going to write my name in. Say, okay, yeah, well, whatever. I know I'll never be elected, but I am going to run my own life. And that's where we really need to focus on right now, because everything else is really out of control. So our best tool is to be in control yourself. Okay, I got one more here. This one here I'm going to read. I think Jessica would like this one. Well, this one was kind of like I went out on a limb. I read it to her the other night. It's one of my favorite ones. It's like, what did the Buddha see when he looked in to the meditation mirror? The Buddha saw tears of joy and tears of sorrow, and they gushed like rivers out of the Buddha's eyes, as he saw nothing, and then he saw everything. And in the nothingness, there was a great peace of mind. And in the everythingness, he saw how everything was interconnected and interdependent. He saw how his soul, his life force, his enlightenment was in the eye of every soul. And as the Buddha's meditation mirror unfolded into deeper and deeper understanding, all of the nothingness and all of the everythingness began to dance and vibrate with the primordial rhythms of nature's heart. And the dance of nothingness and the dance of everythingness became a sacred circle, a mandala of all the hearts, of nature's heart, deeper and deeper, greater and greater, understanding. And the circle, it began to rotate and spin. It was spinning and spinning and spinning faster and faster, until all the being and all the non-being, time and no time, the space and no space, it merged and it fused into one single harmonious tone. And there and then the compassion arising from the Buddha's enlightened heart became the center of the meditation mirror. And from then on, the center of all the teachings, of all the saints, of all the Buddhas and all the Bodhisattvas, past, present, and future, teach compassion as the core of our liberation. That poem gets better every time I read it, I gotta tell you. I love it. Okay, we're gonna do one more here. I'm not gonna do Unleash the Beast. I can't take it tonight. You can guess who that's written for. Okay, here we go. This one here. Oh God, I got two. You sit through me or you go to sleep. It's okay. Either way, you'll get it. It's coming to you. I'm thirsty. One of the reasons we like being in a small place, even though we could have lots more people, is because we feel it's a personal, intimate kind of experience as opposed to being in a giant auditorium and never seeing the eyes of the people who are talking to you unless you have a super binocs. And it's not the same thing. Okay, with these two I love to read, and they're kind of old, but like they just keep getting more and more real. This one I read first. This one's called Our Destiny. Okay. Our destiny is rolling down the line. Climate change, comet change, asteroid change, super volcano change, and earthquake change. We need to hold together, hold on to each other's hands. Because now a change, it's a-coming, and lightning and thunder at its core. The words turning and spiraling with the sun. And we are dancing the sacred dance found in our hearts. And we are singing the sacred songs found in our hearts. We're creating the sacred myths and symbols that are found in our hearts. And we are praying the compassionate prayers that are found in our hearts. Only one way to stop this ignorant game. Come right now to this present golden moment and drop the anger, drop the hatred, drop all the negative emotions. Find the center of your being. There is love there. You need to know it. Learn to have peace always in your hearts. Learn to hold your sacred space. We can make a difference. The oneness, it's looking for you. It's not Uncle Sam. As its lightning rod, be a beacon of happiness of the healing heart. Know the Tatvama, see thou art that. Know the Imna Lakesh, you are another myself. And finally, above all other things, participate joyfully in the sorrows of the world. That's how we'll change it. One person can make a huge difference by their own joy, by their own compassion, by their own peace, by their own creativity. So we'll go one more here and then we'll sign off here. This one, of course, I wrote before 2012, because it was really about what's happening in our world. And one of the ways to describe what's happening in our world is about novelty. Novelty is the new things that come into our world. And part of what's going on is every day there's more and more and more new in every field. You can't be in any field. Even if you're a ditch digger, there's a new way to dig the ditch, right? But everything is changing and it's compressing and it's becoming very, very important for each person to be present in the present moment, because that's where we're learning and that's how we guide ourselves. So we say, This poem is Novelty Rules. Are you ready? Okay. Every day, every thought, every emotion, every single word spoken, every action. You know the invisible rules. And the very smallest of actions, they can cause the greatest of effects. And the greatest of actions, they can cause a lot less than that. Each needing a rebirth and renewal. What we unlearn allows us to explore the unknown regions of space and time. Each voyager catching a celestial light in their very own electrochemical magnetic super bionome vehicle. That's what you are, by the way. And then with attention and intention to become the experience, the gathering of joy, the gathering of peace, the gathering of compassion and love, the gathering of wisdom, the gathering of song, the gathering of heartbeat and breath, a liberation each day as the old domains, the old models, the old ways that don't work anymore. Drop them all. Each one of them holds the gravity that now holds the levity back from blossoming, spontaneous in every heart. Now we're approaching this very balancing point, the equinox. Light is streaming and light is blessing. It's blessing all of life. The sun is emanating the solar winds of universal awareness and being. They're coming to us as an infinite number of stars have been born and died that we may live and share together in this precious present golden moment. And what we always say at the end is like, whatever you do, do not discount your own joy, your own happiness, your own love, your own peace, your own harmony, your own creativity in whatever way it comes out of you, because it is keeping the world in balance. We have a net of energy that us who know it and feel it and experience it and generate it and live it, understand. And it is the very substance that keeps this incredibly fine balance. Because we certainly know how powerful the destructive forces in the world are. So we say to ourselves, well, we must have just as powerful a force, or we'd all be gone. And have to inhabit that other planet that's so close to us, 2.3 light years away. Keep it in your charts. We may need to go. And we'll all go together. That's a plan, okay? So thank you for all your happiness and joy and peace and your precious golden moments. Share them with everyone every day. It makes a difference. It's who we are and what we do. And that's what life is about. So thank you for participating. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you, Riddick. The heartbeat of the tones is there. And now we have little cookies out there for anyone who is hungry for something sweet. Okay, did we go too long?